Hello, everyone. Welcome to Money Matters. Good morning. It's Sunday. I just wanted to put out a short video regarding the price drop in Bitcoin. It was actually early this morning, um, so let's get into it. Remember, this channel is about securing your financial freedom. Disclaimer: this is not investment advice. I am not a personal financial investor, so do your own research and make sure you consult professionals before you do any type of investing. Topics for today, let's do a quick recap in the news and then sum it all up. Okay, if we take a look at the top 10 coins here today, we can see the dark horse at the top is Bitcoin. We had a 15% drop right around, it was like 5 o'clock this morning. And you can see by the rest of the prices, it's all red, for mostly red. For the last 24 hours, everything kind of followed Bitcoin and dropped down as well. So um, typical, we were talking about a price drop coming, and this is part of it, I think. And we'll get into the causes here just a little bit later. Um, see, Bitcoin dropped from about 60,000. We were just over 60,000 to about 52,000 in less than 15 minutes. And we'll look at that chart in just a second. Liquidating about $4 billion worth of positions in the derivatives market. So that's the smoking gun right there. There's a couple of culprits that we can look at, but more than likely that's what we're going to find out caused this price drop. There's speculation on rumors about the U.S. Treasury going after some illicit activity through some individual banks regarding using cryptocurrency, but I don't think that has anything to do with this at all. Although it will be interesting to find out what comes of that. Um, so let's get over here real quick. There's a couple of triggers that I looked at this morning to see what the indicators might take a turn for. And you can see here, right around the 5 o'clock time frame, there was a giant wick dropping down in price, which signifies a single event, something like a whale dumping Bitcoin, or some other major move within the Bitcoin um, market, causing this kind of a price drop. Because it's typically, um, as we look back in history, I think the biggest one we had over in March was, a pretty specific event as well. And the nice indication is the fact that the wick is so far down, but the close is actually a bit higher. So that means there's a lot of support pricing. I think there's probably a lot of trigger calls for people to buy in on dips, and those automatic trades are what push the price up so quickly thereafter. But you can kind of notice that the price settled down a little bit lower, which is normal. I think that that's going to stabilize over the next day or so, and then we should see the price start climbing back up. So what does this mean? Well, as I alluded to earlier, there's a couple of points. Miners who've been holding for a relatively mediocre period of time, you can tell by the green here, are typically waiting for the price to go up so that they can get out and make bigger profits. It could be that there was a partial sell-off. We won't know that until we get some indicators tomorrow and the following day. Um, but that can happen, and that would cause the price to drop pretty quickly. However, I don't really think that's the case. Uh, as we talked about earlier, the most likely culprit is the derivatives market. And if you're not familiar with derivatives, um, you should do some investigating. It's a fascinating area. It's complex, and it's kind of mind blowing what happens. We'll be covering it in a lot of sessions going forward. But for the time being, just think of it as futures kind of trading for Bitcoin. And it handles a lot of money. There's a lot of money moving because people use leverage. And when I say people, I'm meaning institutions for the most part. Um, so, one of the main strategies for the derivatives market and institutions, like funds that are trading in large dollar amounts, a large number of Bitcoin, and the futures, is that they will basically pump up the price, and then of course they're using leverage. So we're talking about magnitudes of money here, and then they'll short their way out. So what'll happen is the price will go up as they're buying in, and then they'll short the price of Bitcoin as the price starts to fall. And as they're shorting it, the price starts to fall further and further and further, faster and faster. And that's where they recoup their profit. They short the price of Bitcoin, they make their profit, and then the cycle starts all over again. They start to buy back in. And you can see that over time, the market for derivatives has grown substantially. So it's going to be part of the future of Bitcoin for sure, and it's something that we're going to have to get used to, be able to identify and understand how it's affecting us and how we invest in the market. So you don't need to panic. As I stated earlier, this is going to be part of the future. This is what's going to be happening going forward. It's happened in the past. It started in 2017, 2018 when derivatives first came into play, but it'll become a bigger and bigger part. But I think over time the impact will lessen as adoption increases, and we should see a little bit more stability in the price variations that are caused by this type of activity. So there's no need to panic. This is going to be part of the new normal, and we should be able to look at it and take advantage of it and use it to our benefit. Okay, in summary, really quick, 15% drop today in Bitcoin. It's scary, but they happen. It could be bigger. My prediction is about a 30%. So we could recover a bit, drop back down, and then start climbing back up, or we could just go back into price discovery. We really don't know at this point. Tomorrow we'll have a much better indication after we see some of the numbers. The smoking gun seems to be coming from the derivatives market. These people are sharks. They know what they're doing. They know how to manage markets. They know how to manipulate markets on a very big scale. We need to learn to live with that and play with that in our world so that we can profit by it. And always remember, don't panic. Just ride the event out and realize that this is part of the way things work. Money will keep pouring into Bitcoin, and it will become stable as time goes by. So the future is very, very bright indeed. Remember to be on the lookout for scammers. Don't get scammed. Be paranoid. Make sure you're checking emails. Make sure they're not fake, etc. And as always, winners never quit. Quitters never win. Always give your very best effort to overcome the challenges you face in life. Have a great day.